Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're doing something a bit different. As a military historian, I'm going to walk you through a formal after-action report on a massive, theoretical, asymmetrical warfare simulation known as Operation Antiquity. We are analyzing a staggering tactical clash, evaluating the absolute peak of modern defensive technology up against the combined might and unparalleled battlefield discipline of history's greatest ancient armies.
1 million. Just try to wrap your head around that number for a second. That is the staggering, almost incomprehensible number of legendary historical warriors that have inexplicably materialized in the dead of night to form this ancient coalition. And we aren't talking about some disorganized mob of conscripts here. This is 1 million of the most battle-hardened elite soldiers to ever walk the earth, massing outside with a singular tactical objective: breaching a modern fortress.
Now, contrast that massive horde with our isolated modern American military base sitting in the middle of nowhere. It's garrisoned by exactly 3,200 personnel. And here's the catch. A huge portion of that number consists of mechanics, medical staff, logisticians, and administrative personnel. In military terms, the tooth-to-tail ratio means only a tiny fraction of those 3,200 are actually trigger pullers. It's just an ordinary night for them right up until the perimeter sensors start flashing.
And that brings us to the ultimate terror of this scenario, which is perfectly encapsulated by a single digit: 0. The base goes on total lockdown. There is 0 outside air support coming to save them, 0 reinforcements on the way. They face absolute, complete isolation. It is just the men and women inside the wire, the weapons they have on hand, against 1 million legendary conquerors right outside.
Here's how our briefing structure is going to go. 1. The ultimate siege scenario. 2. Probing the perimeter. 3. The ancient breach. And 4. The modern counter trap. Let's dive in.
Section 1. The ultimate siege scenario. Establishing the forces.
On paper, this engagement looks entirely one-sided, doesn't it? On one hand, you've got modern technological superiority. Thermal sensors piercing the pitch black, heavy armored vehicles, rapid-fire machine guns. But on the other hand, you have ancient battlefield discipline. This isn't just about hardware. It's a profound stress test of modern tech against sheer psychological endurance, rapid adaptation, and fearless coordination.
And look at this lineup. It is literally a commander's worst nightmare. You have Genghis Khan directing Mongol cavalry in relentless hit-and-run screening maneuvers, testing the base's sightlines. You've got Alexander the Great readying a massive center-mass phalanx, just waiting for the modern defense to react too slowly. You have 300 Spartans applying agonizing shield wall pressure right at the main gate. Roman legions are methodically probing the fence lines for technical weaknesses, while the Persian army uses its staggering numbers to stretch the defensive front line to its absolute breaking point. These legendary commanders are instantly coordinating all these diverse strengths.
Moving to Section 2, probing the perimeter, adaptation, and discipline.
Let's break down the chronological escalation of this night so we can really grasp the pacing of the siege. At exactly 3:17 a.m., a radar anomaly detects massive movement. Boom. By 3:30 a.m., Genghis Khan's cavalry is already executing flank probes, intentionally trying to divide the base's attention. By 4 a.m., the modern base commander starts deploying searchlights and drones to blind and terrify the ancients. 4:30 a.m., the massive first wave strikes the main gate, and by 5 a.m., we hit the decisive, explosive turning point.
Now, this is where it gets absolutely fascinating. The ancient armies adapted to technology they had never seen before with brutal, brilliant pragmatism. When a drone dropped explosives, they realized it could be killed, and they just unleashed an archery storm to bring it down. They built rear-line catapults to launch burning projectiles over the walls, triggering fire alarms and absolute internal chaos. And get this, when they hit the electrified fences, they didn't run away. They sacrificed their shields, physically throwing them onto the wire to ground the current. For Bronze Age warriors, that is a highly effective, shocking adaptation. And most importantly, they used concentrated volley of rocks and arrows to systematically blind the base's surveillance cameras.
There's an observation from the source analysis that really hits the nail on the head. This invisible force makes them hesitate, but it does not make them give up. Think about the terrifying reality of that. You have Persian infantry and Roman legionaries taking brutal casualties from invisible electricity and explosive tank shells, things that should absolutely shatter the morale of any normal fighting force. Yet they refuse to break formation. They refuse to rout. Their psychological endurance is simply off the charts.
Section 3. The ancient breach. Efficacy against the machine.
So, under the cover of a massive frontal assault,
ancient commanders unleashed that precision fire to destroy the cameras at the main gate. That created a localized blackout, a literal blind spot in the modern command center's high-tech surveillance net. Sensing that exact opening, a vanguard of Spartans and Persians literally pried open the damaged, short-circuited fences and physically slipped into the inner security line of the base. Against all odds, they actually breached the wire.
Instantly, the inner alarms trip. The modern patrol teams are caught totally off guard, and terrifying close-quarters combat breaks out. The modern emergency response teams barely manage to seal this breach, trapping the Spartans in a brutal, fatal funnel, a crossfire zone, and literally plugging the hole with heavy armor. It is a razor-thin escape. And it's at this exact moment the modern base commander realizes a chilling truth. Playing pure defense is going to fail. You simply cannot build a wall high enough to hold off 1,000,000 relentlessly adapting warriors.
Which brings us to Section 4, the modern counter-trap, resolving the simulation.
To win this, the modern commander has to flip the script and pull the enemy into a kill zone. Step 1. They order troops to stop firing at the wide-open southwest training field, completely feigning a defensive collapse. Ironically, this is a classic Mongol feigned retreat tactic used against Genghis Khan himself. Step 2. Acting on their ancient instincts for encirclement, the ancients eagerly mass their forces into this perceived weak point. And Step 3. Once the ancient troops are completely crowded into the field, the modern commander springs the trap, detonating massive controlled explosive barriers, pre-rigged right across the entire zone.
The numbers tell the whole story of this turning point. The combat effectiveness of the ancient forces in that southwest field was running at near-peak levels, around 95, because they fully believed they were breaching the base. But in a fraction of a second, the post-explosion effectiveness absolutely plummets to 5. That single massive detonation instantly shattered the Persian wave. It broke the unbreakable Roman formations, and the modern counterattack momentum instantly shoots up to 100. This right here was the definitive turning point of the entire siege.
With the ancient formations completely reeling from the blast, the modern forces shift into the exploitation phase. Tanks roll out from behind the barriers. Rocket launchers pinpoint and target the clustered command structures, while kamikaze drones hunt down the fleeing cavalry. The modern base permanently secures its perimeter through an overwhelming, devastating counterattack, finally forcing the remnants of the greatest armies in history to retreat into the night.
So, the modern base survives. But I want to leave you with a provocative thought as we wrap up this explainer. If the technology was somehow reversed, would any modern army hold together under the sheer psychological weight of 1,000,000 fearless ancient warriors at their gates? The ancients took terrifying casualties from literal machines of fire and lightning, and they still breached the wire. It really makes you wonder about the lost art of ancient battlefield endurance, doesn't it? What do you think? Thank you so much for joining me today, and I'll see you in the next explainer.